Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, November 25th, and you know what that means. It's time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. Went to Full Gear 2 nights ago. Had a great time. Knocked off the bucket list, but let's go into the news. Here are the newest WWE ID signings. We have Zoe Sager. We have Aaron Roberts. We have Jordan Oasis. We have Freedom Ramsey. And the biggest name that has been signed, none other than Smiley Kylie Ray, the independent standout who has wrestled for AEW, TNA, GCW, and many more, who has received acclaim from her peers from all around the world, is officially part of the ID program. This is really good for her. She is probably the biggest name. After that, I'm thinking Zeta Steele and Aaron Roberts, and Jack Cartwheel. But it is great to see Kylie Ray back on her feet. It's just good. AEW, the reason they've been prohibited from using smaller venues is because of the staging and the lighting setup. It will be going down. They will be making the change, and we saw what happened with they use the gaming arena for Collision, but this is going to work. It's going to change. Things are going to get better. Trust me, I believe that. They have also filed holiday trademarks. They have the Dynamite on 34th Street and Christmas Collision. These are two trademarks that will probably be happening within the next month or so. Really good stuff there. And they have also announced that they'll be using the Hammerstein Ballroom and a PAC 2025 lineup starting with the December 18th Dynamite going down in DC. December 20th through the 22nd, they'll be in the Hammerstein Ballroom for Ring of Honor Final Battle Collision and a special AEW Dynamite taping. There's also been a couple other events announced. Get it going, man. Looking forward to the next time they come over here in Philly. And Wrestle Dynasty, the co-branded New Japan, AEW, CMLL, Ring of Honor, Stardom events, will be having an international women's cup with 4 women representing AEW, CMLL, Stardom, and Ring of Honor respectively. They will be facing each other in many tournaments and then moving on to a fatal 4-way at the pay-per-view, and the winner of that match gets a title championship match for forever their respective company. And we have the first 4 participants from the Ring of Honor side of things. Athena will be facing I believe Layla Hirsch, and Billy Starks will be facing Red Velvet. This is going to be really good. I'm curious to see who's going to be on the AEW side of things. We have some news on the AEW Max expansion deal, and they're going to be slowly moving things over. They're going to be simulcasting a couple events there, pay-per-views, and it's going to be a really big Collision going down on January 1st, New Year's Day, with the Fight for the Fallen special, which will be simulcast on both TBS and Max. The lawsuit that has been filed against AEW by the Kevin Kelly and the Tate twins has been moved to Florida, and this honestly just works in favor of Tony Khan and AEW. The litigation under Florida will just benefit them in the long run. And the Continental Classic participants have been announced. The groups have been announced. Representing the gold block will be Darby Allin, Claudio Castagnoli, Will Ospreay, Ricochet, Brody King, and Juice Robinson. And then the blue block will be the reigning Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, Dan Garcia, Mark Briscoe, Shelton Benjamin, and the Beast Mortals. We have, I believe, 4 returning participants from last year's inaugural Continental Classic. That would be Claudio Castagnoli, Brody King, Dan Garcia, and Mark Briscoe. But I am salivating at these potential matches. Yes, I would have probably put a couple different names in here. Maybe put Buddy Matthews in here. Maybe Kyle O'Reilly. But there's also further storyline stuff here. But you got to get hype. We're going to get Claudio versus Ospreay. We're going to get Darby versus Ospreay. We're going to get Brody King versus Claudio. We're going to get Okada versus Shelton Benjamin. Let that sink in. On the injury side of things, Alan Angels is out with an injury. He's sustaining an ACL injury. We don't know if it's a full tear or not, but he sprained his ACL. There we go. So he will be out for a few months, not a full outage. Jade Cargill is also out with an injury. She was attacked on SmackDown, and she'll be out for at least 3 months. We don't know what the full injury is, but they're keeping it on the wrap, so we'll wait for that. Gangrel has undergone total hip and knee replacement surgery, and he is feeling better about that. And the love of my life, Gigi Dolan, has returned from injury. She returned at the coconut loop that they do in WWE. She returned to I'm happy she's back. She suffered a knee injury. And lastly, an AEW star has been silent with injury. That'll be none other than Hologram. He will be out for a few more months longer. But don't worry, Harley Graham will carry the load for him. But that is the news, the injuries, and we'll be back with the week in review. All right, let's get into the week in review. Monday Night Raw. Mommy is back. The show gets a fist. Essentially, Liv Morgan's War Game team consisting of Liv, Nia, Tiffany, Candice, and I forget who the fifth member is. Raquel will be taking on Jade, Bianca, Io, and I think Naomi, and they needed a fifth member, and out comes Rhea Ripley. She screams out War Game. She's wearing a mask to protect her face. The joint that Rip Hamilton made famous, and it's a brawl, and we got the Women's War Games match. Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega defeated Chad Gable and Ivy Now, but in the end, Gable and his squad are standing tall. They didn't fight or anything, he's pumping up his guys and girl. Finn is in charge tonight and wants Dom and Carlito to deal with the War Raiders. Gunther tells Luke Kaiser not to speak for him. Do you be your own man? We are still Imperium. And then Gunther sees Damian Priest and tries attacking him, and he fails. So the facade of Gunther is slowly fading away. Sheamus versus Braun Breaker ends in a DQ after Luke Kaiser attacks both of them. This was for the Intercontinental Championship. Seth Rollins declines the War Game offer from Jimmy, Jay, and Sammy. Once again, the War Raiders end up defeating Carlito and Dom, but Finn and JD attacked them after the match. The Wyatts offer Miz salvation. What's next is on him. He was offered a chance to walk away, to be better, and he aligned himself with the Final Testament. Xavier Woods mocks the Alpha Academy. He's just being a dick now. And sometimes I get where he's coming from, but this breakup is going to be terrible. It's going to hurt. In the main event, Bronson Reed defeated Seth Rollins with little help from the Bloodline, the new Bloodline. Over on Dynamite, this is the Full Gear Go Home show. This show gets a fist. Takeshi, the Lance Archer, Brian Cage, and Kyle Fletcher defeated Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Mark Davis, and Powerhouse Hobbs. There was a good little injury spot to get that hope comeback from Hobbs, but ultimately it was all for naught. The objective remains the same for the Death Riders. Show that Orange Cassidy is a fraud. Show that he's not ready. Show that we are still the best and that someone has to step up to take us down. Darby Allin responds saying he will not stop coming for them. Swerve Strickland attacked the Hurt Syndicate in the parking lot. Kyle O'Reilly tells it like it is to Adam Cole. Your obsession with MJF is going to hurt you. It's over. Move on. Be better. You got the Kingdom and the boys with you. Let's just do this. Orange Cassidy tells the Clownversion to stay away. He does not want them getting involved with him and his business with the Death Riders. Kris Statlander defeated Carl Sheeta in a fun match. Mercedes Monet tried and Camilla tried attacking, but ultimately failed. MVP and Shelton Benjamin attacked someone who was wearing Swerve gear. Bobby Lashley won a handicap squash match, and Swerve attacked them again and got the better of the Hurt Syndicate one more time. Mina and Mariah's champagne celebration will be going down at Full Gear. see what happened there, go check out what just happened for full gear recap. Claudio Castagnoli dominates and defeats Darby Allin clean. He absolutely murdered this man. MJF says he will send Roderick Strong back to the Trailer Park, and Roddy's like, I'll make you pay for all of your sins. Garcia and Matt Menard still have Jack Perry captive, and Garcia tells him, Jack Perry, that he will sacrifice whatever needs to be sacrificed to become champion. The conglomeration backs Ishii during the contract signing, so we officially have Ishii versus Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Jamie Hayter's interview is once again interrupted by another Julia Hart package. Looks like this is the first feud for Julia Hart when she comes back. And in the main event, Orange Cassidy defeat Wheeler Yuta. And the Death Riders tried to attack him, but once again, Orange Cassidy was defiant and got the better of the Death Riders. This is a solid go-home show for Full Gear. Over on Impact, we are building towards the next pay-per-view, which I think is Turning Point. I believe it's Turning Point. Moxley retains the Knockout Championship over Alicia Edwards. Tasha Steelz attacked her after the match, but Jordan Grace made the save. Ash by Elegance defeated Jody Threat. Cass says he'll send Santana back to the streets, and Santana challenges him to a match at Turning Point. So next review is Turning Point. Cass ends up defeating Rhino, and then he gets gored after the match. It's time for Steve Maclin to wake up. This was a good little video segment playing off of Maclin's time in I believe he was in the Marines. And it's time for him to wake up, and then there's a knock at the door, and it's none other than Eric Young. Leon Slater and Laredo Kid shockingly got a win over Moose and JDC, but it was all for naught as they caught a major beatdown after the match for their troubles. Laredo Kid ends up fighting them off with a G.I. Joe injury. Will risk it all as he still believes that he will become TNA champion. You just gotta believe. He still believes that. Do you? Savannah Evans won a squash match. Masha Grace versus Jordan Grace will end up becoming a 2 out of 3 falls match at Turning Point. This will be for the Knockout Championship. And in the main event, Trent Seven, Jake Something, and Alexander Hammerstone defeated Ace Austin and the Hardys. The Rascals and Kushida made the save after the match. Over on SmackDown, the show actually gets a thumbs up for a specific reason, but you got to surrender to the new bloodline. So they want Roman to surrender, accept the terms of the surrender. It is over for the OG bloodline. Chelsea Green defeated Bianca Belair and Blair Davenport to advance in the U.S. title tournament. Bianca had the match won, but she left during the match to go check on Jade, who had been attacked. She was shown on screen pretty much laid out on top of a hood of a car. LA Knight defeated Santos Escobar, retaining the United States Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura attacked LA Knight once again after the match and hit him with the Black Mist. Ciampa is bad news according to the MCMG, according to the Prophets, and they'll get the next title shot. Nia Jax denies attacking Jake. Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes face off, and this was good. Everything Cody Rhodes said was fine, but everything Kevin Owens said was true. KO fought the Bloodline for 4 years. They tried ending his career. They tried hurting him. And not only was he there to back Cody at WrestleMania 39, he was in the ring with him at WrestleMania 40 to celebrate him. And Cody had the unmitigated gall to team with Roman Reigns. This is all on Cody. So what's the plan for the OG Bloodline? We don't know. They don't know, but they're going to go to the ring and find out. Mello tells Cody that everyone believes that KO was right. He is. And Cody didn't like Mello disrespect like that, so they're going to have a match next week. Bayley and Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae ended in DQ after Nia Jax attacked Bayley. The War Games participants all ended up fighting after the match. That's just, how it goes. Ciampa lost to Montez Ford in just a shocking fashion, and Ciampa attacked after the match, and things break down. What Ciampa wants to know: whose side is Johnny Gargano on, me or your friends and mentor? And in the main event, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. The Wise Man returns and gets a fifth man for the OG Bloodline. It is none other than CM Punk. Now, y'all gotta remind me, did Bronson Reed take out CM Punk? I don't remember that. I really don't. But this was a good show, and the Wise Man is back. I still think the OG Bloodline is going to lose at Survivor Series. Over on Rampage, Mina Shirakawa and Mariah May defeated Harley Cameron and Nia Jax. The weigh-in between Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall ends with the Diamond Cutter being hit on QT Marshall. Juice Robinson defeated the Butcher. The MVP of wrestling right now, ladies and gentlemen, is Harley Cameron. And the next week on Collision and Rampage will be a celebration of the Luchadors and CMLL. So Tony Thunder Rosa puts out an open challenge and is answered by none other than Harley Graham. Yeah, I love it. This is just great. Protect Harley Cameron at all. Crossing in the main event, the Conglomeration defeated the Dark Order. We got to do something to the Dark Order. How the mighty have fallen. But that was the weekend review. Our matches of the week from Raw: Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. And from Full Gear, my match of the night from Full Gear: Mercedes Moné versus Kris Statlander for the TBS Championship. Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay. And Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the AEW World Championship. And our star of the week, I'm giving it to none other than Daniel Garcia, who became the new TNT champion. But that is our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look up on the screen what we got coming up. And of course, check out the socials: Charismatic Carishes on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Carishes52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. I see you when I see you. Peace.